Troy Kearns bringing it to you from my Las Vegas office. In this video right now, we're going to talk about how you can boost your credit score so that you can lower your rate and what ways that you can do it immediately. Now, why should you watch the video all the way to the end? Well, we are going to give you step-by-step instructions to what you can do to fix your credit score and to make it go up so that your rates come down. So make sure that you stay all the way to the end because all of this stuff is super important and not one part of it is more important than the other, so you need to know it all. All right, so make sure that you smash the like button, hit our subscribe button, hit our notification button, and if you got a comment, make sure you hit it below. We're gonna get into it right now. Having a high credit score is probably one of the single most important things that you can have to be a successful real estate investor and get the best rates. The FICO credit score stands for the Fair Isaac Credit Agency. FICO, whatever you want to call it. So there's basically three major credit bureaus. There's Experian, TransUnion, TransNation. In this video, we're going to be talking about credit score as one generalization, as a mixed blend of all those different reporting agencies, and we're just going to be referring to it as your current credit score. Credit scores are used by lenders, by 90% of all lenders, to determine your lendability and how much money they're going to lend you and what your interest rate's going to be and all of that. So there's 5 determining characteristics that build your credit score. I'm going to go through them in order right now. Payment history accounts for 35% of your credit score makeup. Be on time with your payments, and that's going to be the major determining factor of that. If you're late on your payments, that's going to take 35% of your credit score and knock it down. Let me give you a personal example. So recently, I had a Bank of America mortgage that I've had for 15 years set on automatic payments. Some glitch happened in their system, and somehow they stopped accepting my automatic payments, and all of a sudden, I was hit with a 90-day late from Bank of America. It knocked my credit score down by 200 points. So even though I've been on time for 15 years and paid in advance, because it's so important, especially with mortgages, that you pay on time, it's gonna just crush you if you're late on any payments. So do not be late. Credit usage, 30%. That means how much of your credit are you using? Also referred to as your revolving debt. Let's say you have $300,000 of credit and you're using $290,000. You're not a good risk. If you have $300,000 of credit and you've only used $10,000 of your credit, that means that you're not using all the credit you have out there, so you've got excellent credit. You want to be about 30% of that, which equals the number is 30% of how they make it up. Pretty simple. Always make sure that you pay your credit cards off every month, and always make sure if you don't repay them off every month that you maintain a balance of at least 30% below what the total limit is. Easy rule of thumb, $1,000 limit, $300 be the maximum balance that you carry into the next billing cycle. Another key factor is the age of credit accounts. That makes up 15%, so the longevity of your credit history. That's why they tell you never close an account, but then they tell you never keep an account open that you don't use. So which one is it? It's your choice. Keep your accounts open, use the old ones, otherwise they'll close them down for you. Keeping in mind that the longer the account that you have shows the strength of your lendability. Credit mix makes up 10% of your total score. Do you have mortgage loans? Do you have car loans? Do you have department store loans? Do you have Amazon loans? What loans do you have? What are they mixed up? That's going to make up a small portion of how your credit score is determined, and it's going to make up 10%. So just a little food for thought. Don't just apply for the same thing over and over again. Make sure you're well diversified and that you're applying for cars, rentals, whatever, that you're having a full-blown credit mix. New credit inquiries, okay? That makes up 10% of your total score. So don't apply for something if you don't need it. Don't go just applying for crap, especially if you're in the middle of shopping for something, okay? They always will tell you that, but I'm gonna beat that point home. If you're in the process of buying a house, don't apply for anything. Do not apply for anything. If you're at the ball game and they're offering you a new baseball and a towel for a Discover card, say no. New inquiries should be for something that you absolutely need. Understanding how your credit is made up is the first step in understanding how you can boost your credit score. So let's get into it. Obviously, the biggest thing in having a good credit score is paying your bills on time, okay? So if you pay your bills on time, that's like 90% of having a good credit score. In fact, even if you have high balances, but you're paying your credit score on time, you're still more lendable. That's the single most important thing, is that you are on time with your bills. One simple step that you can take care of is set up automatic reoccurring payments so that you don't screw stuff up, and keep a calendar of every due date that your bills are due on. That'll help you from trying to remember everything. You know, there's lots of bills that come and go. Utility bills, your mortgage, your credit card, your cell phone, all these things are happening every day, every month, regardless. Figure out when they bill, their billing cycle is. See if you can change your billing cycle. Sometimes they're open to that. And get everything on the same billing cycle, or move stuff around to billing cycles that you can pay for, so that you're never late with your payment, which is gonna damage your credit. It is what it is. If you've already got a missed payment, catch it up, fix it, make sure that you stay on time with your current payments, okay? Stuff happens, you know, to me, to everybody, okay? I talked to you about the Bank of America. I also had a hospital bill that went into collections because I never got the mail. The way you find out is you go pull your credit score and you find out, oh my gosh, I got a collection on it. What do you gotta do? Well, first thing we had to do is we have to go pay the bill. We owe the money, right? You pay the bill, then that'll come off your credit report, paid in full. Then you're gonna ask them to remove it and delete it because they didn't go through the proper channels. That's how you're gonna rebuild your credit, is by finding the stuff that you're behind on, fixing it, paying it, working out a payment plan with whomever, and then getting that into good standing again. That's what you want to do. Make sure that you take anything that you have negative and turn it into a positive. And be aware that paying off a collection account doesn't remove the collection account. It actually will stay on your credit for 7 years. But there's tricks that you can do to get it off. And those tricks are really simple. You filed a dispute letter. They have laws of Congress that they have to follow with. If they don't answer, if they didn't follow a certain guideline during the dispute, you can go to lexingtonlaw.com. That's who I use. And they give you free dispute letters. They give you free everything. You just send those things in the mail. I'll give you an example. So we talked about the Bank of America, and I'm a great example because I had a 750 credit score, or 775, and it went down to like 560, like overnight, like boom, bam, I'm done, cooked. That was the collection and the Bank of America, okay? Same thing, not my fault, but my fault, right? It's my credit score, but we have people to take care of bills and stuff happened. I disputed both of those because I wasn't notified properly, and I paid them off, both of them. First thing I did, paid them off. Second thing, dispute, okay? It took me about 3 months to get it off my credit, and now, what do you know? I got golden credit again, 770, 780 credit score. But bear in mind, if you don't fight, it's gonna stay on there for 7 years. And it could even come back on, right? Like my stuff could come back on. If your credit's like going out of control right now, I'm not gonna suggest this, but I'm going to tell you that try to call your credit card companies and ask them for some reprieve, ask them if they can delay your payment, and try to get yourself back caught up. But don't be some twerp, some loser who's gonna just do that and then not do anything about it. Actually go do something about it. Go get a job, go get some freaking money, go pay off your bills, because if you can't do that, you're not gonna be able to flip real estate anyways. You're not gonna be able to do the most simple things. So it's important that you understand that your credit score is very important, and that, yeah, things happen, and if you're having trouble making ends meet, that stuff happens, but it's not a permanent thing, and that's not a permanent solution. So you need to have a permanent solution, which is go make more money, pay your bills on time, keep your credit score high so that you can borrow money at a low rate. Another thing, setting up a credit alert. Setting up a credit alert is going to actually help your credit increase a lot, because anybody who pulls your credit is going to have to contact you first. If they don't contact you first and they pull your credit, they violate a law. So that's a great way to make sure that you know that you're not getting any hard inquiries, which brings me into my next point. Don't have any hard inquiries. So you want to know the difference between a soft inquiry and a hard inquiry? Hard is going to hurt your credit more because they're going to go in depth and they're look into it, and it shows that you're making a big purchase. A soft is just a quick look at what they can see out there already, and they're not going to ding it hard, right? They're not actually pulling your credit fully. So know the difference between the two. Once you pull your credit report, you analyze all your data, you dispute it, you want to go through and you want to try to get your limits raised, right? The easiest way to bring your ratios down is raising your limits, right? You can either pay them down or raise them up. So I would suggest, if you don't have the money right now, raise them up. Go call your credit card company and say, hey, I have a credit card for $6,000. I have $2,000 on it right now. I'd like to raise that credit card to $20,000. Will you guys do it? Guess what? Now, if they raise it, your ratio is going to go down without you having to pay anything down. down because the ratio works the same way. If your limit's high and you owe this amount, but you raise the limit up, guess what? That ratio is going to go down. You don't just have to pay stuff down. You can actually ask for increases, which is going to bring your credit score up and your ratios down. Don't fall victim to the high interest that you will pay on a credit card. You definitely want to pay off debt versus moving it around. So, you know, if you are able to get your credit line increased, that doesn't mean you don't owe that money. It means you should pay it off quicker. You want to use credit as something that like is a tool. It's not something that you rely on like a crutch, okay? If you don't understand credit, you'll get buried by it, okay? You can borrow up to your eyeballs and you're going to end up being in a shit ton of debt and you won't have anything but a bunch of stuff to cry about. Let's talk about different types of credit real quick, just so I can tell you. So with a credit card, pay that crap off every month. Do not carry a balance. That is high interest debt that you do not want to finance. With a long-term loan like a mortgage, that's good debt that you can depreciate for your taxes and that you can borrow against for long-term wealth building strategies, right? But the short-term credit is the stuff that's going to kill you. That's the stuff that you don't need to be paying for. Don't be charging your Starbucks. Don't be charging your McDonald's. Don't be going out to eat every day. Just use your credit card for the necessities. Pay twice a month. And this is something, interest accrues daily. How do you chop it? Pay it twice a month. How do you chop interest? Pay the interest as quick as you possibly can. Pay it off as fast as you can. Discipline yourself so that you don't get screwed up by having a late payment. Yeah, so you definitely need to make sure you know when your payment due date is. Pay before that and then pay at that again so that you're never ever late, okay? And don't even wait till that end of the date, man. If you don't use ACH or some sort of electronic funds transfer, you're gonna have big problems. All right, wrapping this video up, make sure that you smash that like button and make sure that you follow these steps that I'm going to give you right now, little cheap hacks. Always pay your bills on time. Try to pay them twice a month. Try to keep your debt below 30% on your credit cards and never close an account, and definitely smash that like button, hit our notification button, comment below, and we'll see you next time.